Hey guys, it's Jessie, and I know it's been such a long while since I filmed and uploaded a video. That wasn't my intention at all. Actually, I do have a homeschool update video and curriculum review, and then of course the fun part, what are we going to do on use for the next school year. But no matter how much I wanted to film videos for you, I just couldn't get around to it. And I actually wanted to share a homeschool update video with you first, but to understand a little bit better why I didn't do videos and why things went the way they did towards the end of the school year with our first grader, I think it's best if I share with you the little secret we've been having. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know it. If you don't, here we go. Yes, we are expecting baby number 4, and it's such a blessing, and we couldn't be more happy and excited and thankful. We've been waiting for this for a little bit longer than we thought we will when we first decided to, to try for another one. I stopped nursing our youngest, who turns 3 in October. I stopped nursing him a little, like 2 weeks after his first birthday. I stopped nursing him just to get into, just to have the cycle again. And we kind of, thought it would happen just a little bit quicker. Maybe, I don't know. Nowadays I'm thinking maybe I was just a little spoiled, if that's the right word to use. Like, oh yeah, we already have 3 kids. We just had one, so, we want to have another one, so it should happen quickly. Well, it didn't, and it hit me really hard, to be honest. I can feel so much better now for women who are struggling a lot more than we did. It's been a tearful and a painful journey with pregnancy announcement from other friends on a way, and even though you're super excited for your friends, it's kind of like a stabbing, inside of you, because you want to be pregnant so bad too, and it just didn't happen. So that's just a little background to it. So number 4 has definitely been prayed for and is already so loved, and we wanted to have a 4th one so bad. So in the beginning, I thought I'm going to film every week a little bit on how I'm feeling, but it didn't happen. So I thought this is going to be a little recap video on the first trimester. How are we going to start? It's my first baby in the States. The other 3 pregnancy and births happened in Germany, and that was one of the reasons, why I was a little sad in the beginning, not getting pregnant, because I just really, really wanted to have another baby in Germany. But God's plans were different, and here we are in the States and pregnant. So it's all a little bit different for me, for sure. But I'm thankful for our insurance, and so I really do not want to complain about that. We found out that I'm pregnant on Easter Sunday. Like I just told you, it took us a little longer, and I was really, really sad in March when I got my period. And then that night, I lay down in bed, and I cuddled with our boy, and I was just praying, and I was just being thankful for the 3 children we have, and I was just like being content. I'm like, okay, we have 3 beautiful children. That's so much more than what others have, and I was thankful for it and happy, and and I didn't want to, worry about the next month, but just the whole process of, okay, I'm ovulating, you know, waiting 2 weeks to get my period, do I not get my period? So I didn't want to do that anymore. So in March, I was just like, okay, 3 children, 3 healthy children, 3 blessings, we are good. And then in April, I did a cleanse, a 21-day cleanse. I stopped it almost midway. I don't know, it was just not going as well as the last 2 times I did it. So I stopped it, and just as expected, I ovulated later than I did the 2 months before. So my whole cycle has been kind of off due to my thyroid issue I have, which we found out that I have since we couldn't get pregnant. I went to the doctors and they found out I have a thyroid issue. So anyway, the last 2 months have been, on time, on spot, which was a really great improvement. So I did the cleanse, and even though I just did a partial, my cycle changed again, and I was kind of upset about it. I'm like, oh man, of course it's regular, it's on time. I do the cleanse, and now it's kind of like my fault why I am ovulating later than I'm supposed to. And then in 2 weeks later, like around the Easter weekend, I told my husband, like, man, I should have already had my period, but I know I'm late, but I ovulated later than usual, so I'm not sure if I'm late. So I was just like kind of in between. I was very tired that week. I brought the kids to bed, and I was asleep either before the kids or just like right after them. I come out of the bedroom once they're asleep. I just fell asleep with them, and my heartbeat was a little faster than usual. And so I think on Saturday, the Saturday before Easter, I told my husband, like, hey, maybe you should bring home a pregnancy test. And I was like, you know what? No, I've done so many pregnancy tests, all those months before. I just didn't want to waste any more money. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Don't bring one, because I'm going to, take the test, and the next day I'm going to get my period. And then all of a sudden, my heart started beating very fast again. I'm like, I remember that from my last pregnancy, maybe, okay, no, you know what, husband, just bring home a pregnancy test. And he brought one home. And then I debated if I should do a pregnancy test on Easter or not. I really wanted it to be focused on Easter, and if it's negative, I didn't want to be sad. I wanted to celebrate, the gift of salvation. And, but I got up, I took it, and it was kind of like darkish in the bedroom because I never turn on the light in our bathroom. I just turn on the light in our closet. And I brushed my teeth and I put it down, and then I kind of looked at it, and then from the angle I was looking at it, it looked like it had a second line. I'm like, oh no, that cannot be real. So I kept on brushing my teeth. I'm like, okay. I turned on the light, and then I was like, I think there's a second line, but it was very vague. And then I was just kind of like, I was like, am I pregnant? I can't even describe it. I was walking around trying to gather my thoughts, not going to be too excited, but there was definitely something on the test. So I took a picture of it, and then if you change the picture into a negative picture, you can see the second line better if it's just a very weak line. And there it was. I'm like, oh my, I'm pregnant. I think I'm really, really pregnant. Um, and I lay down next to my husband, who was still asleep, and I was like smiling. He was like, "What's going on with you?" And I was just telling him how good God is and how blessed we are. And I showed him the test, and he was like, "I don't see anything." I was like, "No, there is something." And him saying, "I don't see anything," like didn't I should say that didn't like further my confidence. I was like, "No, I see something." And I was very confident in that very vague line. So we just got dressed and we all went to church, and it was a beautiful service. And me and my daughter and me and my kids, we stayed because me and my oldest, we always help out in the second service. So we helped out, and my husband went home to prepare, our Easter dinner and friends coming over. And on his way home, he bought a test with, words like pregnant, not pregnant, just because, you can't, with those, you don't have to guess, you just know. So he brought one home, and I went into the bathroom and I took it, and I mean, so many times I've seen the words not pregnant, and it was very hard for me every single time. And then that day I looked at it and it said pregnant. It was one word, and it was pregnant. There was no not, it was just pregnant. And I can't even tell you how I felt. I just couldn't believe it. We waited so long and we prayed so much. And I was like, "God, are you really going to give me a positive pregnancy test on Easter?" And I just, I don't know, I just couldn't believe it. And my husband kept on asking what the test said, and I always, this entire time, I was, imagining all those great ideas on how to tell my husband that we're having another baby, but he knew that, it might be a positive pregnancy test. So I told him that I imagined so many wonderful ways on how to tell him that we're having a baby, and I just showed him the test, and he just hugged me, and he said he didn't want to put me down in the morning. He just wanted to be sure, just because it's been such a tough journey for us, especially for me. So I'm sorry. I still can't believe, I believe I'm pregnant, but it's just sometimes so unreal. So yeah, we're having a baby, and you take the test, and then all those symptoms start. I've been super tired and super exhausted. At 8 o'clock, I just want to go to bed. And then in the beginning, I wasn't really nauseous, and trying for so long, and then finally being pregnant, the fear of losing that baby is just a little stronger. And then I was nauseous, and I was like, "Oh man, if I would just be nauseous, I know everything is good." But it just didn't happen, and I had a lot of faith in this pregnancy, and still was like, "Oh, if I would be nauseous, I would be a little better." Well, I think a week later, nausea started, and it's no fun. I never had to throw up or anything, but I could not drink any more coffee. I do not like almond butter and peanut butter. It's not that I'm really craving food, it's more that I get okay, I do not like this and I don't like that, and a week later I might like it again, but there are days where I just do not want to have any kind of foods, and some foods I do not like since the beginning of the pregnancy. And And then especially, I mean, it's getting better, but especially when I have an empty stomach, like I get so nauseous. It was so bad sometimes. So I really have to make sure to eat regularly. And I do feel, I know they say you don't need more food. You know, in the beginning of the pregnancy, you don't really need more food. But I really do feel like I'm hungry. Like, not all the time, but I'm more hungry. And I really feel like I need to eat. Especially so I don't get nauseous. And so those are actually the only big things I had in the beginning. Just I need more sleep and the nauseousness. And then of course sore breasts. You just have to be really careful with it. But other than that, I really can't complain. I know there are women out there who have a much harder time in the first trimester. We are out of the first trimester already. I'm still a little nauseous here and there, and I still need more sleep than usual. But maybe this is gonna change over the next few days. I can already tell that I'm not as tired in the afternoon as I've been before. So this is a big improvement, especially, when it comes to, right now we're done with first grade, so we don't have schooling anymore. But when it comes to keeping up with the house, it's been a little hard, to be honest. So I'm already feeling a little bit better and have more energy in the afternoon, so that's really helpful. I did have, so this is kind of random, I'm sorry. So when I was 8 weeks, I did have some spotting in the morning. It was more like brown, so more old blood. And I was trying not to worry. I'm like, I've read many times before, old blood is, usually nothing to worry about. So I just went on with the day and I kind of stopped. And then around afternoon, evening time, it was like pinkish red. And then I kind of like broke down and I cried and I was so sad and I was worried. But I really didn't want to go to the emergency room because I've been before and it takes forever to be seen. I just didn't want to go through that. And we had Awanas that night and I just kind of like broke down when when our pastor asked me if I'm good. And I'm like, I just, broke out into tears and I explained to him and he sent me home. And then at home, I just lay down and I decided to go to acute care in the morning, with an appointment, just so I don't have to wait, in an emergency room. And then, what is if nothing is going wrong, then I just spend 5 hours there. So the next day I went to acute care and they took blood and then I had to wait a little bit. And then I got seen by a doctor and that was the first time I actually saw the ultrasound. And there it was, the baby and a beating heart, and I was so happy. The doctor told me to take pictures and we listened to the heartbeat, and he couldn't figure out why I was bleeding or where it was coming from, but it was fine. The baby was doing good and he measured it, and as I expected, or like I knew, and as I expected, my ovulation changed. So I wasn't as far along as I thought I would been due to my last period. So I kind of already expected that. So actually the baby was measuring just fine. My due date changed, I think like 3 days. It changed back 3 days, which is great. I know people probably think I'm crazy for being excited about this due date, but December 25th, I'm just excited about it. Not that my kids ever come on their actually due date. They actually all come out later, and so far with all 3 pregnancies I had to be induced. I'm just thrilled just because this baby's been so prayed for, and I had the positive pregnancy test on Easter, and then the due date is on Christmas Day. It's just, I don't know, it's such a blessing from God, and so I'm excited about it. And then a few weeks later, I had my initial intake appointment just with the nurse, where she takes my blood pressure and weighs me, and you go over this a whole lot of questions and previous pregnancies, and just explaining a little bit, what you can do and what you shouldn't do about being pregnant. And then they took, I don't know how much blood after that appointment. And then a week or 2 weeks later, I had an appointment with a midwife. And that's just a little bit different from Germany. Like, usually you have your appointment and you get an ultrasound. Here you don't. I mean, I did have one, so I was kind of happy about that, knowing already how far along I am. It was a super, super quick appointment. And then the next new thing, Germany compared to the States, at least to where I'm seen, in Germany you get seen every 4 weeks. Here I have my appointment with the midwife at 10 weeks, and my next one is like 6-7 weeks later, when I'm 16-17 weeks pregnant, and there I get the appointment for my for the first real scheduled ultrasound, which is the big one, at around 20 weeks. So this is completely different than Germany, but as long as I'm taken care of, I'm fine with it. But the picture you saw before is from an ultrasound we did on Saturdays. We decided that before we are gonna announce that we're having a baby, we just, towards the end of the first trimester, I just wanted to see that the baby grew and everything is fine. And we as a family just wanted to see the baby for ourselves before sharing it with everybody. So we made an appointment at an ultrasound place, and there we were able to take our kids, and we all got to see the baby. And it was just such a wonderful ultrasound, because it wasn't like, they stop the screen and they measure. It was just about looking at the baby and watching it having hiccups, and the entire baby jumping up and down and it playing with its hands and waving, and seeing those teeny tiny legs with those even tinier feet and toes. And it was just great. And we listened to the heartbeat, and we actually got the heartbeat recorded on a little sound machine and then stuffed into an animal. So now every day we can listen to the heartbeat. That is so cool. It was included in the package. We did. The kids actually really liked it. They they asked for the hippo and like listening to the heartbeat, and it's just so nice for us too. And now the baby already got its first, stuffed animal. But it's sitting here next to my, next to the side I'm sleeping. So that was it for the update on my first trimester. Sorry it was a little all over the place and for tearing up, but it's just been so emotional. I'm not sure how often I'm gonna do those pregnancy updates, since I don't get seen all the time, and most of the stuff is happening inside of me where it just don't. I will definitely do an update after our appointments, or if I start feeling the baby kick, or if there's something exciting to share, if we make the first purchases, I will definitely have those videos coming up. Talking about videos, I will also have videos coming up for homeschool update, homeschool curriculum review, and then of course the exciting part, what are we going to use for next year. And then I have a few other ideas here and there. If you have any requests for any videos, leave them in the comments below and I will get to them. If you would like to be updated on when I upload a new video, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button below or at the end of the video so you will get notified when I upload them. Or if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, you can click the link below. I'll post there pretty much every day on the things that are going around here in our house and our adventures outside. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you're expecting as well, or if you're expecting one in December too, leave me a comment. We can share this exciting journey together. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.